How you guys doing today? Welcome back. Today is 12/1. Happy December. Mariah Carey intensifies. Let's go. It's time to get some presents and some snow. Well, if you are new, I don't know why the hell I just did that. I apologize. But otherwise, welcome to Evan Trades. With that being said, we're going to talk about technical analysis today. We're talking about supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, the EMA lines, volume profile, RSI, stochastic, the vortex indicator, and the 10th thing being love. Well, welcome. If you are new, welcome. I actually make these videos professionally. I actually do a newsletter every night professionally, I guess you could call it. Nothing here is financial advice, obviously, but I want you guys to stick around, learn something new, try some new things. That would be great. If you want to get through this quickly, just skip ahead in the video. I have chapter notes in the timeline. You can just go to the first stock. Otherwise, let's get through the stuff you also want to know about. Firstly, the class is still available. 25 free courses going to be right here. Right there for you to go ahead and watch. Secondly, the newsletters that I do on these stocks and in the morning futures. The nightly ones, our whole entire community, early access to videos, 25 extra lessons that I do are all available in the description box down below. It's 12/1. You will not be charged until January 1st. Go check that out now. If you want more premium content, I appreciate it. Thirdly, yesterday's stocks that were today went up and then SPY crashed just a little bit at closing. Right there, yesterday's calls. Plenty of good stocks. Check out there. Fourthly, and almost lastly, to get through this quickly, in the description box is my journal. In that journal, all the calls that I make here, all categorized for you to watch. Go check out how they're doing, what they're doing, and keep me valid, hold me responsible, all those kinds of great things. Lastly, you're going to see on my charting, which I'm going to show on the screen right now, there's a white dotted lines and a red dotted lines. I don't have all the time in the world to describe volume profile to you. That's part of the charting. This video right here will help you with volume profile for sure, give you guys some great clarity thereof. With that being said, 8 great stocks today. Even after that sell-off, many are holding up okay. We're going to check the chart together, but it looks like they're doing just fine. With that being said, let's get into it. So first is ACC, Amber Campus Communities Inc. I love this uptrend. It starts off a gap up, and it's been super-duper consistent. Now the support is waning. Okay, let's adjust it together. You know, it's been a big sell-off. We can see obviously our next support's right around here. Looks good. A lot of action stopping here. Holding up greatly. Am I going to just jump into any of these stocks today? No, because the markets are just crashing off right now. Why would I jump in? No point rushing in, but again, for a watch list item, these all make a lot of sense. ACC is right where we want to trend up with the support here. You know, if it does come down to $50, I'm not going to be too upset here. Let it fall to us where we want it. Resistance looks good. If we lose this area, you know, we drop down 1.5, we just get out. But a bad move is 6%. It's still 4-1 odds here. Dividend overreaction, earnings overreaction, right to where you want it. Let's check the indicators together. What's so cool is I actually don't use indicators to scan with or chart with. I haven't even checked the indicators at all today, to be honest with you. I haven't checked the EMA lines. Blue is 10, purple is 50, 200 is red, RSI, stochastic, or vortex. These indicators show me 4 things, and it's just the TV channel. MTVV. Momentum, trend, volume, and volatility. That's what it shows us. Indicators help us with clarity to enter and to exit. It helps us with clarity on charting and all these kinds of great things, but it's just the icing. TA is the cake. With that being said, if you never checked indicators with the master, let's do it together. We can see the bounce off of and the cross over a 200 is our go signal. Sure, you can buy into value, that's here, or if you want to wait for a 200 crossover, it's right there for you. I'm not against waiting for a red line crossover. 200 crossover would be just fine here. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, they're low. Bulls are low, bears are high. ACC is a great watch list item. Of course, the keyword is watch list. I'm not throwing the bank at it. I'm not going to go, all in here. If I wanted to scale in, I could, but I'm not throwing the whole bank at it. I also didn't mention, but briefly, these are the 360-day 4-hour charts. It's our usual chart, just more zoomed out. The email lines don't make any sense. That's probably why. ACC, I'd watch list it. I love what I see. Next is BAM. BAM! From Emerald Degrassi. BAM! The whole season of this stuff. Bada boom, bada bing. Love it. BAM is another great uptrend that has room to drop. Again, I'm not catching no falling knives in this kitchen, speaking of Emerald Degrassi, but I think 54.50 to 55, anywhere in here where this gap was, is going to get filled and then turn right back around anywhere in this area. Great uptrend that also started off a gap, going up purely. Resistance trends holding beautifully. It's coming right to where you want to see it, very close to 55 and some change here. Let's let it drop to us. Dividends do it. Let it drop to us. The reversals are very quick down here. And again, we're not going to rush in. Let's see some green. But about 1 or 2% lower, we have a great risk versus reward. Let's let it come on down to us. Let's check the indicators. Once again, it breaks the 200, and when it crosses back over, it looks pretty good. Right, over here's a great example. Goes beneath it, breaks the 200. Oh, look at that, a 6% day. It does that often. So down here, waiting for a 10 or a 200, cross is fine. But again, I think going into value makes more sense. Buying low, selling high is what we're seeing here. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it's low. I don't see a great divergence. It's there. It's there. Those are higher lows barely. These are definitely lower lows. So it's a very small divergence. But again, it's there. Bulls are low, bears are high. I like what BAM has. I like what they're doing. It's an asset management. They're doing well in this market. I think it's a good buy. I would definitely watch list it. You can wait for a 200 cross over the price going over the 200 EMA line. Wait for that or go into value. Both here make a lot of sense. BAM, I'd watch list it. Next is BR, like Battle Rifle from Halo. You know, the 3-shot right there. Love it. Good stuff. Broadridge. I'm good at spelling. Broadridge. Looks really good here. Another great uptrend. That's broke a little bit. But it's the same exact trend as this resistance. It's being absolutely gorgeous, my darling. If I were to zoom in real quick, we can see a great looking support area down here at 162 and right here at 167.50. It's dropping beautifully and showing a little bit of life after market. Once again, reversals this low are very quick. I'm not convinced by this little baby doji. I want it maybe 1% lower to mitigate our risk. But just like the other picks, it has nice little downtrends. All these have this. Nice little downtrends. Just like this. Makes little baby triangles. And they break out. Nothing's different here. It's coming down. And when it breaks out, you're going to have a good old time. BR, I would definitely watch list it into this week and into next week. When it comes to indicators, a 10 cross is beautiful. This sticks out to me perfectly. This is what I'm looking at. That was gorgeous. Also over here caught my eye. If I could zoom out, you idiot. These. Caught my eye. Caught my eye. So waiting for a 10 cross is fine. It's at 1.5% away. Sure, you can go for it. The full move here is still 11. So it's only about 10% of your profit margin for confirmation of a trend reversal. Is not terrible. If it does take longer down here, the 10 cross becomes more viable. But again, down here, you can still buy off of value very easily. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it's low. Bulls are low, bears are high. It has everything that deals with value. But again, if the stock market continues to plummet, I don't think you should buy any of these. I'd give it just a little bit of time here. But when it comes to risk versus reward, it makes a whole lot of sense. I do love what I see. BR, I definitely watch this in this week. Let's see what it does together. It looks really good. Next is CTIB. Yunhong CTI. Looks good. Great penny stock. And again, it has just a support area from here to about 140. Anywhere in here is where it likes to reverse at. Am I going to rush in? No. Let's zoom out real quick. We can see it had previously nice, super little nice higher lows here going across, boop, boop, boop. And now it's starting to settle sideways. But again, it's had higher highs. It's had lower lows. No point thinking it can't reverse anywhere else. This can definitely change. I think we're only risking 2, 3% at most, maybe 4. But to hit the POC is 44%. If it hits its usual volume spot, it's a 40% move. And you're risking 4. That's massive reward. I think there's a chance this breaks down farther and you get closer to 129, but it's a watch list show. If it breaks down, still put on a watch list because you get down anywhere down here, better chance of reversal. But down here, it's fantastic. Let's look at the indicators together. I don't think EMA lines mean anything with penny stocks, really, especially not with one that's horizontal. I'm not even going to worry about them. Sure, a 10 cross is probably fine. You cross the 10, you're probably fine just randomly picking spots. You're probably okay. But, again, I'm not worried about that. RSI's at 31. Stochastic's a bit high. Again, it's trying to show some life here. Right, it's trying to show some life here. And it may come back down to about 148, which is fine. And then bulls are low, bears are high. Again, it has that value built into it. It's baked into the cake that the markets are selling off, and it's right where you want it. If you like penny stocks, if the Russell 2000 finds some life, it could be the one you want to go for. CTIB, I would definitely watch this into this week. Next, idiot, is DBA, Investco DB Multi-Sector CommT Agriculture. This is probably the best one to fight inflation, honestly, and it's probably the best one fundamentally speaking for those reasons. But DBA is a really good ETF. It technically is sound. It keeps trucking higher. And sure, a good move on this chart is about 9%. If you're going to have the best move, it's 18%. Most of y'all are not going to write home or be very excited about 18%, but in this market, you very much would be. So make sure you guys keep your stuff together. Don't get overhyped here, but 5-6% may be the max you're seeing here. But again, all you're risking, let's say it comes down to the POC. At most, we're risking 1.5, but a nice move is about 6. It's still 4-to-1 odds here, and DBA historically has made much higher highs, and now it's starting to reverse finally, coming right back to where it should be. Looking really good here. Again, not much risk, not much volatility. I love what I see. Let's check the indicators together. Let's move this down real quick. Once again, a 200 cross is fine. I think a 50 or 10 are more significant for this kind of chart. The 10's beautiful. So when you cross over the 10, these run-ups, all the way up until time's canceling out, right? You go all the way up until it's time to sell out. And right down here, it's only about 1% to cross. I'd definitely go for that. RSI is at 34. That's good. Stochastics low, bulls are low, bears are high. DBA is really good hedge against inflation here. Agriculture makes a whole lot of sense. It's right where you want it. Sure, I think you could probably get it just a bit lower, but overall, I do love what I see. DBA, I would definitely watch list it. Next is GSL Global Ship Lease. Looks like a really great uptrend. Again, it has a few small breaks, but I mean, even over here, if you were to kind of adjust for that, it's coming to right where you want it. If I'm being fair on live here, I think this is a better support area. If it does lose this trend, we're coming down to about 21.25 at least here. Great uptrend. The new resistance match perfectly this uptrending line as well. The POC is gravitational, pulling us higher. Overall, just a great old resistance becoming to support. Great trend up. You love to see it. Super easy play. It's like many plays today, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the same old thing over and over again. Great uptrend overall, though. When it comes to the indicators, once again, our 200 cross is probably the most significant. 10 being good, 50 is also pretty good here. You want to wait for a 200 cross? It's about 5%. I don't love giving that up to give extra risk right there, but overall, it's probably fine because a full move is about 30%. But waiting for a 10 cross or 200 cross down here makes a whole lot of sense to me. It's probably totally fine. No big deal at all. RSI is at 30. Stochastic is low. Bulls and bears are consolidating from this spot right here. But overall, we can see bulls are losing. It's a good value overall. You love to see it. GSL overall is a fantastic deal. I think it has plenty of room to run up, much less to run down with a good stop loss. Overall, it's just like ACC or BAM. Great uptrend, just at value, just like the S&P. Love to see it. GSL, I'd watch listed. Next is ORMP, a great pharmaceutical company. You have to do extra DD here. You gotta check the FDA approval thing. You gotta go to their website and see what they're doing. It's getting volatile. Earnings was a massive sell-off. If they had a drug that failed, scratch it off. It's not going to work out here. But overall, fantastic trend up. And again, we're holding. Even here, if it breaks down 3 or 4%, you can just get out. But a move to the resistance is almost 18. It's still almost 5-to-1 odds. If you get up to about $22, you're talking almost 8-to-1, 7-to-1 kind of odds up here. Overall, great uptrend. Old resistance area becoming a support. It's holding and making new support. You love to see it overall. ORMP, the 200 was a great support, and now it's going to be a resistance, so be cautious of that. But overall, the 50 is the best crossover. See how it bounced off the 50 like clockwork. 10's fine too. The 10's pretty good, right? It's not the best, but waiting for a 10 cross here, it works. I wouldn't give up 5% of profit in this market to wait for that. But if you do get that, you made the right decision. Down here, we're buying off of value. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it's confused but low. Bulls and bears are consolidating. We're going sideways. That makes sense. ORMP, I'm worried about that sell-off. You have to do your own due diligence here. That would very much worry me. But overall, I think for a watch list item, it makes a lot of sense. Because if it does continue down, the support's below it, or should be just fine, I think. It looks pretty good. Nonetheless, ORMP, I'd watch list it. I do like what I see. Last is TWST. bioscience. Shout out to my corn fans. Ooh, no, I'm just kidding. So TWST looks pretty good here. You got a new metal joke on the show. So TWST is a simple support play. We actually called TWST over here. It did exactly what we wanted it to do. And now it's coming back down from an earnings overreaction. This area it's coming into is the 1 year volume profile support. Volume down here weakens immensely. And so if it gets down here, mainly bulls are going to buy in. Bears are not going to touch it. Hopefully, unless it's being heavily shorted, you got to check that out on your own time. But down here, we want to build a support. It takes time to reverse. I mean, this whole area here, what, 14 days and some change? 9 days, what's this, 4 days, 7 days, what's 8 days, 6 days, I'm close. It takes time. Don't rush in, right? But it's a great earnings overreaction into support. If it starts to kind of consolidate, I would then look to buy into that point. Let's check the indicators together. 10 EMA crosses are fine. 50 is even better. 200 seems fairly worthless at this point, honestly. It's going to be a hard resistance, but besides that, it's just going to be a nice block for us. Otherwise, a 50 cross is best. I'm not going to give up 25%. I'll give up 2 or 3 for the 10. Otherwise, we're just buying off of value. RSI is beat to hell. The stochastic is an obvious bullish divergence. Those are higher lows. These are lower lows. Obvious bullish divergence. Bulls are low, bears are high. TWST is the best value. Of any chart on here, it's definitely the best value. But you have to be concerned, why is it the best value when it keeps selling off? Is it because it's a bad product or a bad service, or just because it follows the S&P and it's coming down pretty hard? Up to you to decide, but overall, TWST is a great value. Otherwise, have a good rest of your guys' week. We'll see you guys tomorrow for just one more watch list, and then we're going to move into the weekend. Last note, if you've been here long enough, what's up? Let me know what you think about the shorts I'm producing. I'm going to try and make some shorter videos. I don't know how it's going to go. Maybe you guys like them, maybe you don't. But overall, the shorts should be there. Hopefully it gets some more folks on here. Hopefully folks enjoy it. If not, I'll stop doing them, but I think you guys may enjoy them. Otherwise, have a really good rest of your guys' week. We'll see you guys tomorrow.